We are back. I don't know if I'm going to torture you guys with much more music that sounds like it's coming out of a tin can. I might wait till I get to the microphone, but I might do it too. You know, you never know. Totally possible. Oh, okay. Cannabis paste, or even butter, not the oil. Yeah, I know that. I apologize, Miss C Gypsy. I should be better versed in that. I just know that there's anti-cancerous treatment that you can get through that. So that's why I wasn't sure if it was oil, but I appreciate that. I know Miss C Gypsy is just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the alternative medicine and using cannabis and things like that. We will definitely be consulting your help on that. I'll learn you, not to worry. Thank you. I need it. I just know that there are alternatives, and I wasn't exactly sure what they were, but I knew they were there. So, and like I said, she had an appointment today. My wife found a lump in her breast and went to the doctor today. They did a ultrasound and said that it looked like it could be a cyst. So hopefully it is. Hopefully it's a cyst and nothing more. And we'll I think. Ooh, nice. Yeah, when is cannabis class? Great question, Moral. Yeah. You know what, Miss C Gypsy? We should just set up a video thing, some kind of a conference. I'll get all my buddies over here, and you can learn us. You can learn us proper. And then Joe said he'll send me an internal mixer app. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Joe. Man, Joe's got it all. Joe's got everything there. See, man, I can't do this without you guys. We just need a community. You know what I mean? It really does take everybody. I might be good at something, man, but it takes all of us. It takes all of you guys. You know what I mean? It really does. That's why community is so important. I know that may sound corny or cheesy. It doesn't matter because it's true. Because it's absolutely the truth. And it will take skill, but we can learn how to love each other. I don't care how that sounds. I don't care how stupid that sounds. I'm 36 years old. I've been homeless. I've been on the streets. I've been involved in the drug scene. I've seen my fair share of hatred. I've seen my fair share of animosity. I've seen my fair share of evil. Hell, I've been my own a good enough part of being evil, my damn self. That's why I do what I do. If I have to spend the rest of my life doing what I do to try to rectify things and make things better, that is exactly what I will do. And maybe I can just talk, but I mean, it takes all of us, man. I know Miss C Gypsy has the knowledge, and Joe, Miss C Gypsy was telling me that Joe is like the man when it comes to all of this kind of radio stuff, and equipment and software and know-how and just all the knowledge that you would need, and so I really appreciate it, man. I've been in over my head since day one, and I'm totally fine with that. I usually am. If you're gonna have a low level of education and be a parent, yeah, you're gonna have issues, and so I'm just gonna, roll with it. I'm just gonna roll with it. I know where I'm coming from, so. Usually I am in over my head, and that's fine. Now, I was expecting our other DJ might have been here by now, but he is driving in rush hour traffic to get here, so, man, it just keeps kicking me out of the chat. Maybe, I don't know why, but I think every time Christine logs in downstairs, it logs me out up here. I'm going to have to get another login or something. Yep, it says you have started the chat in another window. All right, we'll let her. Man, I appreciate you guys joining me today. I appreciate everybody listening. I'm trying to bring another perspective. I'm trying to give people something they haven't been given in a while in this country, which is the there isn't a reason for us to be fear-driven. There isn't a reason for us to buy into all of the fear-mongering. We had ISIS kicking the snot out of the world, and then Ebola kicking the snot out of everybody who was left, and everybody thought we were all going to die, and da-da-da-da-da. And then the elections were over, and it was like, well, ISIS is, they're still doing their thing, but we're hitting them with airstrikes. Or depending on who's talking about them, you might hear ISIL. Man, what is that about? That drives me nuts. I feel like it's a scam on a scam, you know what I mean? Like it's a lie on a lie. So I don't know. Okay, yeah. Yeah, see? When she signs in downstairs, it still says Jay Dieter, but it's her talking, so... Yeah. That's weird how it does that. So... I want people to take responsibility for themselves. And you can, if you want, you can assign that to Republican theology. I won't. I'm telling you that this is American theology. It is time to stop being good Republicans and Democrats. It is time to start being good Americans. It is time to stop buying into all of the fear that they want to feed us and drive us with. It's ridiculous. There's no sense in that. It's time for us. Look, if you don't want unity, that's fine. Go be a hermit and die by yourself. But for the rest of us, let's learn how to come together. Let's learn better how to organize. Let's create methodology that knows how to adapt to what it is that is going on now. Every time we have government agents come in and try to subvert or coerce, let's be prepared for that. Every time the naysayers come in and say, that's not true, let's realize that that's not fact and that we can discern it for ourselves. Do not rely on anyone else's opinion. Never subject someone else's judgment for your own. Do this yourselves. And that's what I'm trying to say. Let me explain, because I am still a new show here on the Right Side Media Network. Let me explain a little bit about me. I'm the spokesperson for an organization in Ohio called Unite Ohio. What we've done is taken an aggregation of groups, protest groups, rally groups, anonymous, militia, sovereign citizens, and then just plain old citizens that don't belong to anybody, anywhere, anything. And brought everybody together to rally together, to network with each other, to understand each other's causes better, to, when we go out to repeal Citizens for the Repeal of Common Core event, some of us are anonymous. Some of us are militia, carrying our firearms. Some of us are, elderly. Some of us are young. Some of us are black. Some of us are white. Some of us are Spanish. Some of us are, whatever. Short, tall, fat, skinny, everything. And that's what we do. We bring everyone together under the understanding that we all want our country back. And, look, I can't affect too much in Texas, but in Ohio, I'm for damn sure going to take responsibility of what's going on here. And if I see a family that needs help, I'm going to ask them if they want mine. And I'm going to bring my organization into the fold. We're going to bring in our resources, our networking capabilities, and we're going to try to affect change. And whether we fail or succeed, we're going to give it hell trying, because we're American and we don't know what in the hell else to do but to keep going. We don't have any quit in us, and none of us come from weakness. Not one of us. We will continue. We've got superintendents lying about us. We've got, that means we've seen success. That means we're doing the right thing. That means we're shaking the foundation and we're changing the game. We're sick and tired of watching how our systems fail people. We're sick and tired of how all of it goes. We're done with that. We're just going to go ahead and take responsibility. If there's a family that needs food, we're going to do a food drive and we're going to get them some food. Because we can. Because we need to, because it's time, because no one else is going to do it. Just like your country. No one's coming to save you, but you got a hell of a lot of people here hurting you. You didn't lose your country, you lost your country. Doesn't seem like it when you can still go to work and pay taxes, huh? You're so proud to go to work and pay taxes. You're so proud to be a professional consumer, taking part in Black Friday stampedes and things. You're hurting us. You need to realize what your job is and what it isn't, because when the country is taken over completely, and it almost is, it's become a mere shell of itself. But when they've got all their socialistic agenda running, and it's running like the well-oiled machine that they need it to be, trust me, you'll be completely enslaved. You'll still have your job. Well, then what's the alternative? What do you do? Well, what do, Jeremy? Do I quit? Do I quit my job and lose my entire livelihood? Well, let me ask you this. If you are an officer and you know that you're violating people's rights, like the officer or the National Guardsman that went into New Orleans after Katrina when they were taking the guns away from the wealthy folks, and he said, I had to do this overseas. I never thought I would have to do it here. And you don't want to think about what you have to do when you go into these neighborhoods. Then lay down your gun. Defy the order. There will be enough of us. I'm asking our police, our federal officers, our military to stop obeying unjust and unconstitutional orders. It's time. If you're waiting on the American people, realize, dumbass, you hold the gun. You've been given the trusted position of authority. We may need you to lead in this. Have you ever thought of that? Everybody's always concerned with we. What will we do? What will they do? What will the people do? What will the police do? What are you going to do? It is your responsibility. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save your country. And by God, if you're in a position of authority at all, if you have a gun, if you have a badge, we are waiting for you. The people are waiting for you. If you're in our military, we want you home. We want you here. And we want you on our side. We want our country back. We don't want you to get sent to war anymore. We don't want you to be so hurt and damaged when you come back that we barely even recognize our own relatives anymore. And if they do live and they don't commit suicide, you lost them. You lost them forever. You'll never know that person again. You'll never know that person again. They come back to a country that seems unwilling to take care of them. Look at all the VA scandal and everything. We don't take care of our vets. Look at how many are homeless. Why is that? We can do better. We really can. You have to choose to believe in it. And then when you do, realize that it's you. Not we, not they, not them, not us. It's you. You. Your strength is what's going to get you to stand at the corner with a sign. Other people that feel the same way that you do, they're going to come around and they're going to join you. And then before you know it, you have this beautiful like-mindedness with people who otherwise were perfect strangers. And now you're starting to build community. If you start to build community and you start to take care of yourself, take responsibility for yourself, grow your own food, can your own food, and your neighbors are doing the same things, guess who can quit their job? Guess who it is that knows better how to take care of themselves? Guess where all of this convenience got us? Unable to take care of ourselves. I want you to think about this. Let's say there is an evil ruling class and they shut off the grid. Your grocery store is going to be emptied in about 10 minutes. You're also going to see about 20 to 30 dead bodies laying on the grocery floor, lined up in different aisles. You're also going to hear injured people moaning. But you will not see food, and you will starve. That could happen in less than a week. That whole process could happen in less than a week in this country. It's that simple. It's very easy. You could starve us out in no time. All you have to do, shut down the grocery stores. Don't let the trucks run. That's how fragile we are. That's what kind of a dangerous position we are in. We're hanging by a thread, and it's the evil ruling class that's holding the top end of that tiny little thread. And all they have to do, boom, our lives are in their hands. Do you like that? Do you enjoy the fact that the people that are passing laws that are hell-bent on taking your rights away are the same people who could be responsible for you and your family and the people you love no longer having food or medicine that they need? Do you know what happens if the grid goes down, some kind of false flag, or maybe a legitimate attack? If you or anybody you know needs heart medication, you can say goodbye to them. Any kind of medication that you have to take regularly, goodbye. What are you going to do with your dead? That's what you need to start thinking about. Those are the kind of plans that you need to start making. Where's a good place to bury my dead? Where's a good place for me to die? Unless, of course, you've seen fit to think for yourself already, and you have decided to prepare accordingly in accordance to the climate around you. I know a few of you, and I commend all of you for doing that. You know, at one point in time, the preppers were considered crazy. What are you preparing for? The grocery store's right down there. Now it's so freaking fashionable, they got TV shows for it. And I don't even know what those rich people are thinking. I got something to tell you guys. Barring being in a deep underground military base, because nobody really knows what they have, or one of the deep underwater military bases, you're gonna die. It doesn't matter. You know, think about it. We got a freaking billion, nuclear reactors on planet Earth. You start maintaining those cells have a half-life of anywhere from 225,000 years to 375,000 years, depending on the plant, depending on the specific and certain technologies. So let's say you have yourself a little bunker, state-of-the-art, run by Halliburton, Dynacor, PepsiCo, Snoop Dogg, all of them, all the big names. You say you have enough water and oxygen and things and filtration to last you for 2 years. Doesn't matter. When it runs out and you pop out the top, you die. You're done. It's over. And you can't put people in a luxurious tin can for 2 years and think that people are going to maintain sanity. There's no way. They're going to sit there and stab each other and poke each other in the eye just like they do on the streets. Just because you put everybody in a luxurious tin can doesn't mean they're all of a sudden going to be civil. Oh, we got to be nice. No, they're going to freak out. Plus, they're Americans. They're jackasses. They don't know unity. They don't understand, they care about themselves. If I ever find myself in some apocalyptic kind of situation, I am going to stay as far away from humans as I possibly can and then build a moat if possible. Because you guys don't know unity in this country. You don't know how to come together, and you're way too self-important. You're going to die, and you're going to get everybody around you killed. I will be a happy, hairy hermit somewhere in a cave, looking like Gollum. So I think we're in a really dangerous time, and I think right now what we decide is definitely paramount. I think that what we decide now is going to decide a lot for the future, and so will our indecision. Maybe even more so. Our indecision. Us choosing to not do anything. We must realize we have still made a choice. And it could be detrimental. All right, let me look over my there was a post here I wanted to read to you guys. Oh, I said at the beginning of the show, my 11-year-old daughter did a video last night while her mother and I were busy. And we kind of realized it was bedtime. We were like, hey, get to bed. And she said, all right, let me finish this up. And then she goes upstairs, brushes her teeth, all of that. Well, we look at the video, and of course, I love my kid. I'm going to tell you, she's the best thing since anything. I want you guys to check it out. All of the words are hers. I mean, she put the sentences together. We didn't even know, I thought this was something that was going to take her a few days to work on. And I had no idea that's what she was doing. I had no idea. I mean, I want you guys to see it. It's impressive. And of course, I think that because I'm her father, but it's impressive. It really is. You guys won't believe an 11-year-old did that. Those are her words. That's her language. Of course, that's what she is subjected to growing up. So, kind of tells you a little bit about her mom and dad, maybe. All right, let me read this article to you guys. This is the title is "The Supreme Court Will Decide If a Woman Has the Right to Work While Pregnant." Really? Anybody else, after hearing the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence, think there's a problem with the Supreme Court deciding if a woman could work while pregnant or not? Anybody? 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 I don't like it either. So let's read this. The Supreme Court will hear arguments Wednesday in a case that will decide whether many women must choose between having a job and having a family, or at least whether these women must put their jobs and their income on hold during their pregnancy. Peggy Young began working for the package delivery company UPS in 1993. 3 years later, she took a job with the company delivering early morning packages. Then she became pregnant. Because UPS says that its package delivery drivers must be able to lift items weighing up to 70 pounds, and because Young's doctor advised her not to lift packages greater than 20, the company told her she could not continue doing her job as long as she was pregnant. I'm going to stop right there. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yes, that's reasonable. In the land of common sense, and I know we don't live there anymore. You lost your country. But in a land of common sense, you say, look, you're a good employee, you do well, you're pregnant, so let's take care of you. Let's get you doing, revenue auditing, sorting, and something like that where you're not lifting the heavy packages and you still have your job and you still have your pay, or whatever, and we can get you squared away. Or if you have to use they have people at belts where if someone's on disability, they can't move such and such a box. They have the person that stands next to them that knows that, and then they help with the sort. So, you keep her out of the trucks, and that's common sense, right? Sorry. Number one side effect of my medication. As a result, according to Young's brief before the Supreme Court, Young was required to go on an extended unpaid leave of absence, during which she lost her medical coverage. Because our systems are working fine. No systemic problems with our health industry or anything. There's an important addendum to this story, however. UPS has a policy of assigning light duty to certain workers with temporary disabilities, including workers who are injured on the job or those who are entitled to this accommodation under the Americans with Disabilities Act. This matter because the Federal Pregnancy Discrimination Act provides that women affected by pregnancy, childbirth, or related medical conditions shall be treated the same for all employment-related purposes. You know what? I'm going to stop right there. Here's the thing, okay? The Supreme Court's going to decide whether a woman has to work while pregnant. Then they go to this specific case, and it just seems like nothing more than a distraction. It's a way to keep you away from the actual issue. We're going to try to wrap it around this one little box here. Commonly, that is what is done to us. The issue is the fact that we have a United States Supreme Court that doesn't represent the United States civilian population. How many people do you think are Roman Catholic? Oh, I'm sorry. Orthodox Roman Catholic. Do you know anybody who's, I mean, if you do, you're rich or whatever, I get it. But how many out there know Orthodox Roman Catholic people? Because most of our Supreme Court is. They couldn't represent us on their best day. They have nothing in common with me other than we both breathe. I mean, these people don't represent me. They don't represent my daughter. They don't represent you. They obviously represent their own interests and the interests of many large corporations. And they have no right to decide whether a woman has a right to work while pregnant. That is not their issue. That is not their function. They've overstepped their bounds and then overstepped their bounds and then created a new one and overstepped that one and then crushed the other one. I mean, you lost your country. You lost your country. You lost your country. How do you feel? What do you think? Where are you at with this? Are you ready to do something about it? And are you ready to stop giving in to the fear? Are you ready to stop shopping at these huge corporations? It hurts us when you do that. You know, by listening here, you're supporting a small business. And we solicit the help of other small businesses. Sassy Chicks New and Rustic Trading Post is one that, you know, decided, hey, I'll take a chance and I'll help you out, you know. And that's what it's about. It's about a community. It's about coming together. All right, man, I'll help you out. You help me out. You know, that's why we're telling people, you know, we're trying to get 100 likes. We already did. We got 100 likes, I don't know, maybe the end of last week. I'm not sure. Or beginning of this week. You know, because we want people to like their Facebook. We want people to go in there and patronize and support them and help them out. You know, it helps everybody, you know, and we're doing this on the small level. You know, we are the little guy, and we're not corporate, you know. So when you listen to us, you can take a little bit of pride in the fact that, you know what, I'm not supporting a corporation when I listen to these yahoos, you know. That is one way that you can affect your world. That is one way that you can make a difference in your world, which is all that any of us can do. And if we all start to do that, guess what? The world automatically, by default, becomes a better place. Let's stop giving the corporations our money. I almost think that foreigners were brought in here the way they were on refugee status just to keep the corporations going. Because if the Americans come together that aren't on refugee status, you know, I don't know that we can consider them Americans, but they're here and they have money and they spend it. You know, if they go to Walmart, there's thousands of them, then our little boycott isn't as effective, you know. And Americans wouldn't have brought a bunch of people here on refugee status where they're tax-free for 7 years and they get all kinds of handouts like Congress and Senate do. We wouldn't have done that to ourselves. That's not sustainable. We don't want a bunch of illegals here. That's not sustainable for any country on earth. But I tell you what, you give us half a chance. Us hard-working American people, you give us half a chance. We won't just change our country. Every time the American people have ever come together, historically, we change the world. Give us half a chance. Give yourselves half a chance. This is the Right Side Media Network. You're listening to Diametric Opposition. I really appreciate you guys. We're going to hit a small break. I'll come back, and we will almost be done for the day. All right, guys. I will catch you on the flip side.